What are you doing? What? It's cold. Just use this, bro. I guess. Today we're looking at the Dreo PTC fan heater. I don't know what that means. But it's a fan heater. So I have a very, very old unit that I bought probably 10 years ago from Walmart for 20 bucks. And although it does its job, this is the control and it's all manual. And it does heat up, but the fan is, it's very loud, it's obnoxious, and it'll overheat the room. So if I fall asleep with this on, I'll wake up probably having a heat stroke. So, you know, I want a unit that I can have a thermostat and actually control wirelessly as well, because there's no remote controller for this. It's just a dial, you turn it on and that's it. So this thing has got to go. Also, if you pay utilities, you know gas has been going through the roof, and I don't really want to heat an entire house if I'm just going to be in 1 or 2 rooms throughout the day, or, you know, sleeping. So I don't have my heater turned on at night, and of course it gets really cold. Last night, in fact, got down to 19 degrees outside, so it was very, very cold. I didn't feel comfortable enough to get out of bed and turn on my other heater. So this one solves that issue because it's got a remote and it has a thermostat. So it'll be regulated throughout the night, which is why I got this unit. So let's open her up. It's a very small unit. I don't have my normal tape measure, but the box measures 430 millimeters. So I'll put a conversion to inches right there. So it's definitely a small unit, but it should pack a punch, at least for a small room. Most of my bedroom and my office room, all of these rooms are quite small. Heating an entire house with this, I don't think that will happen. So just keep that in mind. This is more for a personal space heater for a small, medium-sized room. All right. Got instructions out the gate, quick start guide. We'll look over that in a second. Some nice, this, I forgot what this is called, but it's like the drink holders you get at fast food restaurants. So it's nice that it's protected in there. Unit is quite heavy. There's a little notch back here to get your hands so you can lift it out. Nothing else in the box, so we'll go ahead and put that away. And the unit itself. Get my razor blade here and carefully remove the instructions. I wonder if this heater comes with batteries this time. On the box it did say batteries, so maybe it'll come with batteries, unlike my infrared heater. Before we open that up, let's go ahead and look at our quick start guide. So we got a power on, off, touch to turn the heater on, off. I think this is a touchscreen, the top panel, which is super cool. Mode, power heat, eco, and fan only. Touch to switch between symbols there. Long press to turn on, off. The button sounds, very cool. Heat level temperature. In power heat mode, touch to adjust the heating level. H1, H2, H3. So those are probably the 3 different temperatures. In eco mode, touch to adjust to set the temperature 41 to 95. That is why I bought this, because I wanted a specific temperature to set it at. So I don't have to worry about it. It'll kick on when it gets too low and turn off when it gets high. Oscillation, touch to turn on and off. That's super sweet. Timer, touch to set a timer 0 to 12 hours. So you can set the timer for 8 hours while you're sleeping. That's perfect. Note, once turned off, a 15-second countdown will show up on the display while the fan blows out the remaining heat. That's good. Don't want that heat to kind of sit in there. This is the LED display. It's got an extended warranty to 30 months. I'm blocking this because this is the QR code for my exact unit. So we've got safety do's and don'ts. Do directly plug in a 15 amp, 120 volt wall outlet only. Power strip extension cord, shared outlet can cause overloading and result in short circuit, fire, or electric shock, so keep that in mind. Check the plug and outlet regularly and keep them clean. Check the plug regularly and check Dreo customer service if bent or damaged. Ask a qualified electrician to fix any outlet if it's loose. And then don't use dusty plug or plug into a dusty outlet. Don't share the outlet with other applications. Don't use a power strip extended cord. Don't plug into a loose outlet. Don't use bent or damaged plug. All right, let's open up this. Check out our little remote control here. Ooh, I see a little, if you know what that is, you know batteries are included. Ooh, I like the feel of this remote. It's got a nice little brushed finish right there. Very nice. These are nice and soft rubber. The buttons feel very nice and got a very good sound to them. And all we do is pull that out and we have batteries. CR2025, so you know. User manual, I probably will just kind of skip over this because it mostly said everything we needed to know on the other page. It's electricity safety, handle, air inlet, which would be on the back, and then just the control panel, and we'll probably go over that later. Let's get some stuff off the table here. Let's open this up. Just kind of rip it down, make a little seam. Pull this little top section off. There's our little top section. Warning, risk of heat stroke, hyperthermia, so definitely be careful with that. But it's got a thermostat on it, so in theory it shouldn't overheat you. Plug out. It's packaged quite well. The quality of the cable is very nice. It's almost kind of rubbery feeling. It's very interesting. It's hard to capture on camera, but it's a very interesting feeling plug. I like it. Got your little cover. Satisfying moment. I ruined it. Let's try again. Oh yeah. So this, no buttons, just touch. But if you set this up right, you use this instead, because you might not be able to be right next to your heater. It's got a nice metal mesh fan on the front, so this is the heating element here. And it looks like it's a little radiator, like a car radiator. It's hard to tell, but you can see the fins. And then this is where the air inlet is, where the air comes in. So you don't want to be blocking this area. You want to have it in an open area. Got your nice little handle here. Pick and grab it. It's not too heavy. Again, it's quite small, but the reviews are saying it packs quite a punch. It's 400 millimeters, so whatever that is in inches, I'll put it right there. The base has some nice rubber feet, and obviously it will oscillate if you choose to use that function. I guess there's nothing to it but to plug it in and see what kind of heat we get, see how loud or quiet it is. That was another reason I wanted to get one of these. My other heater is so freaking loud and obnoxious, and apparently this thing is quieter than a library fan. I think that's what they said. So let's give it a shot. You hit power. There we go. It says H3. I'm immediately feeling fan. It is so quiet. There is immediate heat coming from this. It is nice. Genuinely, I cannot explain. It is a smooth heat. I don't know if I can really explain that. Smooth, like it just feels soft. Versus my other heater, it just felt raspy. I can't explain it. But the heat coming out is very consistent and a very inviting heat. Like I want to sit next to this thing all day. It is quite hot though. So we are on H3 right now. So I think if I hit the minus button, turn this down to H2 and then down to H1. So H1 obviously is the lighter of the heat. H2, we get a little bit hotter, medium heat. And then H3, which is the hottest it can get in terms of this setting. But there is a setting for an actual thermostat number, which is probably what I'm gonna go for. And to activate that, we're going to hit the mode button. And now we have a temperature that we can actually set. So I'd probably set this to probably about 70 degrees. So from what I'm aware of, this has the built-in thermostat to where it'll recognize the temperature of the room, and if it dips below this, the heater will kick on. If it goes above it, the heater will kick off. Exactly what you want if you're wanting to sleep in comfort. And it feels really good, like good heat is coming off of it. And again, I don't know if you can even hear that in the mic. It is so quiet. And I love that because my other heater, let me bring it in. Here's the 15-second timer when you try and turn it off. Lets it kind of get all of the hot air out. And I can feel it cooling down now. All right, this is what this one sounds like. Such an awful sound. And the heat that comes off of it, I don't know. It's kind of old school. So, I mean, it does the job. I'll probably keep this for my office as a secondary one. But I wanted this nice one for my room. And so far, it is not disappointing. So as soon as you turn it on, I heard a nice little click. Immediately start feeling some heat. We can turn up that temperature. Now, I'm thinking that if we turn up, let's see how high this goes. Okay, so 95 is the hottest, and it is immediately throwing out. Wow, that is insane. If I had an infrared camera, I'd be able to show you, like, it is quite hot. I cannot hold my hand there. So that is awesome. And then we've got this right here is the oscillates. Oh, that is so nice. I'm just getting hit with that really, like I said, it's like a soft, smooth heat coming out of this. I can't explain it, but it's way more smooth coming out than my other heater, and I really enjoy that. So the oscillation, quite slow. I think the oscillation is just on off. Okay, yeah, so it's basically on off. This thing seriously pumps out some good heat. Like, this is almost too much, so that's a good thing. I'd rather have too much in a heater than not enough. So I'll turn this back down to, I'll turn it down to 70. That's probably where I'm gonna keep it. I'm just so happy with how quiet it is. It's just, I didn't think I could get heaters this quiet. I guess that's what you get when you have a 10-year-old outdated heater. Now, since we are in eco mode, it says note, in eco mode, the heater will turn off automatically when the set temperature has been reached. If your heater turns off frequently, please raise the set temperature or switch to power heat mode. So keep that in mind. I will probably keep this in eco mode at the 70. And I love the display. It kind of blends into that bezel piece. I think it looks super nice. And the remote is very, very quick and easy. You got a nice beep, so you know what's happening. And then if you need to touch the top, let's see. Oh, it's so light. It's like a touchscreen. I'm barely touching it. Let's see, let's do the plus. That is so nice. So if you have this on a desk pointed right at you, this would be perfect to use. You don't need this, but for me, in my use case, it's very awesome to have this. I mean, it's so awesome because you don't want to get out of bed and go tap this and turn it up, you know what I mean? So being able to have this on your nightstand right next to you and be able to turn it up, turn it down, turn it off, whatever, that's killer for me. But the functions on top work really well. Now we've got our timer function. So there's 1 hour. Okay, so the timer function does not work with the plus or minus. You have to continue to press the timer button for it to go up in hours. So you got 1 hour up to 12 hours or 0 hours. That's super simple and easy. It's idiot proof. I like it. To cancel, set the timer to 0. Simple. You also have a mute button, which I think mutes the beep. Yes. So that mutes the beep so you don't have a beep sound. I was worried about it being fairly small, but I'm actually glad it's small. This can fit on a desk, on the floor, you know, you can position it in multiple places. And I love the style of it. I love the cylindrical thing, not the big old square brick that my old one was. So this one is definitely killer. And then I think there's one more mode. And then this is just fan. If you want a fan, it's gotten a little too hot. And it's actually blowing quite cold. So you have that fan if you want it. I don't think there's a fan speed. I think it's all the same. Also, I love that the display shuts off so it's not a very bright light. It also has tip over protection. When the heater is tipped over, it will shut off automatically with the error code P4 on the display. So I doubt it will shut off with the fan. Okay, with the fan, it won't shut off. So if we're in a power mode here, all right, so if we're in a heat mode here, let's see. There it goes. All right, so I hit that P4. It started beeping, and then now there's a countdown here, and then it shuts itself off. So that is very good. Nice protection for that. It also has overheat protection. When the heater overheats, it will shut off automatically with the error code FF on display. And this thing was hot on 70. So 95 is almost overbearing, but I think if you want to heat up a room quickly, run it up to 95 or put it on the highest setting and then drop it down to just kind of self-regulate. It also has a memory function. The heater will remember its last settings, temperatures, working modes, oscillation status, once turned on again. It also has a 24-hour auto off. Long press the timer button for 3 seconds to turn this feature on or off. When the heater is on standby, the display will show on and off, respectively. Note, this feature is not on by default. Typically, I'm running my heaters at night, and sometimes during the day, if there's like a snowstorm outside or something, I'll run it. But once the sun kind of comes up and it's more warm outside, I'm not usually running this heater. I don't see myself running this for 24 hours straight, but that's something good that is included, and I love things that have features like that. This is insanely warm right here. I have to move it. I'm gonna put it on oscillating. And I'll probably have it oscillating, but I got this out of an emergency because last night it was 19 degrees, like I said, so my house was extremely cold. And I fell asleep with my heater off because I don't have these cool functionalities. And my back was killing me. And I think it was because of the cold just freezing me. And it was an awful, awful experience. So I searched the internet and I found this. There were some really good reviews on it. So I'm recording this video well before I normally make my video for the week. So I'm actually going to come back. It'll probably be the next scene after a couple days to let you guys know how I like it and how well it worked being on this setting throughout the nighttime and see how comfortable it made me. All right, so it's been 4 days since I recorded the last clip. I've been using this in my smaller bedroom, typically having it on while I'm sleeping, and it is perfect. It is amazing. I have it set up to 68 degrees, and I think that between 68 and 70 for my small room is perfect when it's freezing outside, and it regulates the temperature. I don't even notice when it's on because it's so quiet. And it does a really good job at keeping the room temperature perfect, and I'm mad I didn't buy one of these sooner. I'm absolutely in love with being able to just use the remote so I don't have to get out of my warm, cozy bed. This thing really does a good job. I turn it on the oscillation feature and put it on eco mode so I can change the exact temperature. And like I said, 68, 70 is perfect. You don't even need to go that much hotter than that. If you have a bigger room, you might have to go higher temperature, but that's something you would have to test out. But for my room, it did really well. So I will leave a link for one of these in the description below. I would highly recommend picking one of these up if you're wanting to save some money, because heating a whole house is getting really expensive these days and winter's around the corner. Leave a comment below on what you'd like to see me review next.